stage to the channel. Let's see what his perspective is, all right? Let's see what he's got to say about this. Hold on. All right, there we go. What's good, RT?
What you got to tell me? Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something, boy.
How you doing, man?
Good,
good. You burning up the airways over here, bro. You speaking too much facts, man. They can't catch on to what you trying to tell them. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they can't. What do you think? So why is Gen Z so poor? What's your perspective on this?
The sense of entitlement. They never had to work hard a day in their lives. It goes back to the speech that I think a brother gave at a commencement or graduation. He was talking about how every generation works so hard so the next generation will have it easier. You know, his great grandfather had to walk to work. His father rode a horse and so on until they're riding Cadillacs and driving down in Lamborghinis because the family's wealth grew. But when you have that sense of entitlement that you're going to automatically come into wealth, one, you don't know how money works. Two, you just inherited it. So you don't know how to continue down that road of wealth building. Now you're just wealth spending. And it's going to run out. Now, when I was in the insurance game and financial planning, the biggest transfer of wealth was supposed to happen from baby boomers to millennials. Now, if that is true, what we're seeing right now from all this information is that millennials blew their wad and didn't leave anything left for Gen Z. And so now we're back into this cycle again. And it's always going to repeat itself. The cycle is going to repeat itself. Now, some of the things you were talking about make perfect sense. You can be mad at the immigrants all you want, but they came over here with traditional values. They will stuff a house full of family members, and they will all work towards a common goal of owning their own property, owning their own businesses. They all stay in a house. If you ever looked at an Arab house, an Asian house, any house of wealth, all the family members work within the business that gained that wealth. All the family members know how to turn that business over in case the person that's the board member dies, who is the ultimate owner, probably great granddad, and it's inherited through their knowledge of the business to keep it going. For some reason, in our community, not alone, but in the American population, there are less than the 5%ers. They weren't informed of that. They were told that, oh, teach your kids at 18 to 20 years old, you need to kick them out of the house. For what? That's a wage earner. Build up your family's wealth. Put it in the pot. You got wealthy families that have shared bank accounts, shared credit cards. Daddy will turn off your credit card if you fuck up. Do you have that in our families? No. Why is that? Why do you think rich people all live in the same house and what they do is they build another wing on the house? My nephew's over on the west wing. My son's over on the east wing. Why they got all these wings in the house instead of just having their own houses? Because they're containing their wealth and assets in one pot, so it grows faster and quicker with the larger amount of money instead of divvying it up and getting small pieces of a pie. I was always taught this a long time ago. Why take one slice of the pie in sales when you can take the whole fucking pie and sell it? Why are you limiting yourself? That's what's going on.
Yep, 100%, man. I agree. And the Manosphere Hall of Fame says because boomers don't want to pay anyone. Is that what it is?
Is that what you're saying to yourself? Bro, they knew how to sell. They know how to save their money. Remember granddad with the pot of money under the mattress or in the walls? Mm-hmm. They didn't believe in banks, especially our people. We did not believe in banks. So where did our money go?
Land, mostly. A lot of people bought up some good land and, like you said, stashed it.
Right.
But also, I mean, you hit it on the head, the nail on the head with everything you just said. But yeah, people will be like, well, the entitlement, that might not be the issue. It's like, bro, it's just really basic wealth techniques. And it's not even nothing stupid secret. A lot of people on airwaves trying to tell you guys today all day, do this, put money here, put money there. That's it, just a portion, not all your money. But what you want to tell us is, I ain't got it. But then we done seen you at the Kanye West concert. We done seen you out with your friends. We done seen you get the nice apartment in downtown. You don't want to
Right.
take no commute. And even those people who were complaining about the sacrifice they made in that plush Australian apartment downtown, it's a sacrifice because they had to be roommates. Bro, what did your squad bay look like, RT? Was it plush when you had
No, man.
roommates?
No, man. We had the basics: iron rack and a wooden wall locker. That was it. Now they have
But
apartments damn near and common areas that they share between 4 or 5 bedrooms. I think we didn't have all that.
exactly.
And then even if you were married, you didn't get the barracks. If you were married and your wife wasn't close, you got a Quonset hut. that shit is not pleasant in
Yep.
certain times of the day, in certain times of the year. You know, shit ain't insulated.
Nope, not at all. So it's like, and then they go to the golden years, and then, like the guy said, even with the lost generation, but other generations too, it's like a lot of these people lived through some treacherous wars, some global affairs that you guys can't handle. Y'all cry about Palestine and Israel wars, let alone World War I and World War II, but you want to skip past that and want to be on quote unquote the golden time right after it and be like,
Right.
man, see, if I was back then, like, nah, it don't work like that, bro. You would have had to probably get that letter from Uncle Sam that said you were signing up for some Air Force that you probably
You
never
had
even
no
heard
choice. Yeah.
of.
You
And
had no
it's
choice.
like, you better not be educated, because I know they said the lifespan of a lieutenant in Vietnam was almost like
8
20
seconds.
minutes.
Something like-
Yeah,
something
8
like that.
seconds. He
No,
was
that
out
was
of
the
there.
radio man. The radio man's life expectancy was 8 seconds. I think
Right?
you said 20 seconds.
So
was
that's
supposed
even,
to be
yeah,
enough.
that makes sense too, though.
Mhm.
But like, bro, what? You know, damn, Viet Cong, they was on it. But god dang, like, I don't want no smoke of that. I'll deal with what we got to deal with today: a little stagnation, a little inflation. You get me? I gotta buy my house from the toilet on Zillow on my smartphone. Oh, it's so difficult. Like, come
Right.
on, bro. I can get a grant for a house just using my flip phone, clicking a couple of buttons. I got the grant and I got the pre-approval.
Yeah, getting up to run to the grocery store instead of calling Uber food or whatever.
The list goes on, right? Like, come on, man.
You know,
And one thing I always try to like transfer over to the people who can understand. The people who say they don't care and they don't, all right, cool. You can probably continue to lose like you're losing. But I always try to show people other countries or say, look what's happening. And it's not to say your experience is invalid. I say it's still valid, but it just makes you draw a different conclusion if you can understand, like, dang, the only place that life gets better is in my head. In the real world, I can't find a better example. That's what I'm
right.
really trying to show you. So it's like, you're always mad about something we might not have in America. But then when I'm like, point it out in China, it's like, bro, realize that people got it way harder and you got it way easy. And if you realize that, maybe you could see some of the opportunities. But if you don't care about nobody else and what other people go through, and you only care about your hood or your community and your issues, then that's probably why you're losing. Because I love to learn from other people's losses, regardless of what nationality they have. I could learn a lesson. And the lesson is, I'm going to double down on America, and then I'm going to understand the opportunities, and then I'm going to take them. Period.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
mental health, y'all mental health is probably messed up so much because you goddamn subscribe to so much losing. I ain't never seen a happy loser. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Shout out to Drew. He says, salute, bros. Salute to you, man. Much respects. And as RT said, hit the like, hit the button. Also, call up. Pull up. If you a Gen Zer, if
Yeah.
you think we're
Hold on,
wrong
let me
about
drop
it.
that in- Yeah. Let me drop that open link here. Go
If
ahead.
you think we wrong about it, and we got it, yeah, because that could be, we don't know everything. We could be wrong. I always err for that type of error. All right, we could be like 5% wrong. You're right, but
I love those political and do it for yourself historical revisionist. They like to revise what real history was into their own making just to prove a point. You know, there's a lot of those
Facts.
guys out there.
And I'm like, yo, shout out to the big homie Cold Fusion. Much respects, but he definitely got a Gen Z mentality. I'm like, how do you look at World War I and the Great Depression and say, well, you know, Gen Z just got it hard too? Like, bro, really? Did you just see that?
With all the advancements and technology and science and, you know, what the hell is a cell phone back when I was growing up? Are you serious?
Bro, that's almost like voodoo.
TVs were so expensive. You couldn't have a TV in every room in the house. I had a radio playing at night, bro. A radio.
Dude, and the dude probably sitting there getting money from a video online in his drawers. Talk about, man, look at that people sit up in the soup kitchen line looking like Oliver Twist, asking for more porridge and being like, yeah, well, it's hard just like that too. Like, come on, bro. Nah, your reason is out of whack.
Right. We have it so hard. We don't have the advantages you guys had. What?
And then shout outs to Drew. He said, you see Biden pardon his son. Got to look out for your kids. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm kind of extreme. Well, RT got kids. So what you think? You got to look out for your kids? What you got to do? Especially, I guess, if they're F-ups, allegedly, if his son was one.
I mean, if my son is an F-up, he's an F-up. I can't help him with that. You know, all I can do is try to guide him in the best way I can. But, I mean, unfortunately, these white guys get away with bloody murder. You know, I don't get how they do. I don't get why America allows them to. You know, you got a guy right now being considered the president of the United States, and he is a convicted felon. You know, 2-time impeached legally, but you reelected him. Go figure. You know, are our ethics that low now? You know, would they allow that type of personality to run the military? As a military guy, when we went through top secret clearances, do you think if we had a certain type of job, we could have that job if we couldn't pass certain background checks, like a squeaky whistle? You know, the level they hold servicemen and women to, half of these politicians couldn't pass it.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. But then again, I always look at it like those are two different things, and the requirements are the requirements. So if the people vote for that person in particular, that's okay. Because even those people in those positions with those credentials doesn't mean that they can govern the nation accordingly. Like, I mean, they do run for office, and people don't choose them for their own personal reasons, which is completely fine. And I also think, as far as the moral thing, and even just the thing, look, I tell other cultures, like, everybody does it. In Africa, you go, and Africans do the same thing for Africans. So I don't know why, like, we have this lack of understanding when it comes to, like, oh, well, white people can get away. Bro, it's just people in a system. White, black, whatever. If you go to Africa, Africans are getting away with stuff doing against other Africans, and that's because they got power within their construct and their nation. So the same thing. And if you're a powerless individual, you're going to have problems, regardless of your race, your origin, and etc. So again, you just have to be better. Like, Elon Musk is not from here, but net at the end of the day, he brings massive amounts of value, so he's going to be treated accordingly. And he's accumulated power over the time frame. Yeah. Nothing's handed out. You have to just go build and grab it. Chinese people were like the poorest people in the world 40 years ago, just as poor as Africans. People used to make fun of Chinese people, saying you don't have a Chinaman's chance.
So they told everybody they don't say that about get into STEMs.
Not on everybody to get into STEMs, old people. And again, it's not even the CCP. I mean, they played their role for sure, but it was the people. I saw video footage of 70-year-old people processing steel at the highest capacity, producing concrete for the world and exporting it. So people as individuals decided to take up a pack and produce, and actually went full-fledged into capitalism like never seen before. So it was people in combination with leaders that did the damn job. China has more coup d'etats and overthrows of political leaders than anywhere else in the world. So they never played. They overthrew dynasties if they had to. Chinese people ain't no punks. So you can't get it twisted and compare yourself, because at the end of the day, Chinese people were ready to ride on anybody. even the emperor. They were riding on emperors. Like, oh, you know what? We couldn't eat. Let's ride out on the emperor. And you're like, what? He's royalty. They didn't care. So I always say, we always put it on somebody else, leaders and all this other stuff. And it's like, bro, it's a lot of it is just you.
It's on us.
It's the only thing you can control at the end of the day.
Correct.
And I can't get away with doing no type of scheme that you don't let me get away. I can't sell you nothing that you don't want to buy. I can't. You got to make a decision to buy it. And I always say, Americans always talk about, oh, well, we want companies to come back. You're not loyal with your dollar. There's American car companies like Tesla, which I always say, that produce the most American car, but you don't care. You want to get your Ford, you want to get your GM. Even though they took factories overseas, even though they received the bailout money that you said was corrupt. I'm not saying that, but you said it was corrupt. But you don't care. Your dollar's not loyal. You don't show loyalty to the companies that show loyalty to you. You're like, what's up with the BYD? Are you ready to sell out? Just go and buy a Chinese car if you got to. But then you want somebody to be patriotic for you.
Facts.
Come on, guys. You got to get right. As they always say, and David Goggins say a lot, man, you always want to hold the waiter accountable if they get your order wrong. But you never hold you accountable when you get wrong.
That's the biggest thing right there is accountability. And,
on the self.
Yeah, on self. Because nobody wants to take the blame and point the finger at themselves. They'll point it everywhere else, but they won't point it at themselves.
And guess what? On the YouTube cycle, just how the ecosystem works, in the ecosystem, I mean in like the system inside of YouTube, it's better for me to tell you it's somebody else. I can come up here and be like, it's the Illuminati, it's the New World Order, and then I'll probably get mad followings, mad likes. I can blame the rich. I can blame whoever. But what I prefer to do is to say,
it's you. Tell the truth, though. You're gonna be the devil.
Yep. It's you. Then the viewers don't want to view no more. They don't want to feel uncomfortable. They don't want to have the conversation. And look, okay, I'm not even saying you're wrong about everything you say about the leaders and this and that. But what's your role? I want to hear you start speaking about that. Because that's when the conversation gets quiet.
Right.
But that's when I start looking at your financial spreadsheet and seeing the discrepancies. That's when I start logging into your cell phone and seeing the massive amounts of hours you spent on TikTok, but you want to blame TikTok. TikTok's not the problem. What you click on TikTok is the problem. There's some investors on TikTok telling you about insurance and how to buy and purchase insurance and leverage. Why aren't you checking them out?
Yep.
But you want to click on the big boot. Okay. Right? So go right now. I remember I did this when I was like talking to a bunch of guys. I was like, pull out your Instagram. Let me see. Because they talking about, man, I'm trying to build and I'm focused. And I'm like, let me see. Pull out your cell phone. Pull up Instagram and let me see that homepage. And then it was like, yo, hold on real quick. Because they know, right? When we opened it up, shorties in yoga pants, models with that's what they were looking at. When I scrolled through mine, it was like real estate and financial stuff. There was no shorties with no yoga pants, no nothing. Because the algorithm knows
for you.
This is not what he wants. So I'm not going to feed him that. Like, it will have no click rate and no watch time if I don't feed you what you want to watch. But all of a sudden, like I said, right? Like Candace Owen says, oh, on my husband's cell phone, a big booty just showed up. Like, look, Candace Owen, I got to tell you something. If they showed up on his IG, he's probably been clicking on that. You know? And it's until proven guilty. But I think the algorithm works this way. Instagram can't just do that, you know, like a kid open it up and just show them that stuff. Like, no, you know, they're GP, they're PG also. But
I mean, I wish we could re-educate our community specifically into keeping the kids within the home longer, but having them add to the family wealth and build that wealth up for at least a generation or two. You know, instead of making them initially move out, but having them trained within a family-owned business, entrepreneurship, you know, developing that aspect of them, even if they were in the same house. Teach them how to build a home, you know? Add on to that house, add that wing, like I was saying. Well, we got an east wing now because, you know, Junior done grew up and he needs his own family. He needs his own private space beside for the overall family house. You know, I at one point had a vision of wanting to buy at least 10 to 15 acres of land, and I was going to turn it into a compound. There was going to be a general like receiving area where the pool and all that stuff would be at, big banquet hall or whatever for family gatherings. And then on the land, it would be subdivisioned out for each family, like each one of my sons to have their own home. But overall, it was going to still be on one compound. You know, that's something to me that would be what I would want for my family.
Yeah. And then also, look, I'm big on this, man. A lot of you guys, the way y'all think of a family is all twisted. A family's not there to be like, oh man, you know, I hear people often say it. It's like this ego and this hustle thing where it's like, man, I'm out here working for my family. And I'm paying for this and I'm taking care of that. It's like, wait, hold on. But what is that family member doing themselves? Like, why aren't they sustainable? Like, I get it if you say their arms are enabling them.
Like, I didn't say
that's different. Yeah, that's different. But it's like, bro, this is how kids used to work. This is how kids used to be, like the good old times, right? Like, children were a part of survival. You didn't have kids so they could be sitting around on iPads all day. See, you guys turned your kids into the bums like that. But kids were working early. Like, they went to the cotton mill. Here go the girls. The girls working in the cotton mills, the boys working in the minefield. So the boys had it worse. You get me? They got all types of toxins and stuff. But kids worked, period. But your kids are sitting around on iPads, just consuming all the way up to the age of 20. And you're clueless now why they're 20 or 18 now and still want to get that to continue to go at 24 now. They're like, oh, right, man, I'm still not mature. My brain didn't develop. You know, we really don't develop our brain until 25, right? So can I stay now? And again, we're not against you staying. We're against you staying, not really saving. Your savings rate is still low.
Not applying yourself.
You want to move your boyfriend in so y'all can have some down in the basement. Like, wait, hold on. What we doing here? Now, my mom's not righteous for many things, but she was big on that. She never let me bring nobody in the house if they didn't have a ring on their finger. She like, boy, you ain't never bringing nobody up in this house unless y'all married. And I remember I brought my Japanese girl to America. I had to sleep in the basement and she was on the second floor. Like, we were separated at 8 p.m. or 6 p.m. on the dot, and she could never go to the basement. So it was like my mom made the separation. She's like, hey, if you ain't got no ring.
Like that too. She's like, yo, y'all ain't married. Forget it.
And watch this too. My mom, she was never married, but not she still put that in there. Just because she didn't do it doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying? And I was never one of them kids like, you didn't do it, so shut up. Like, I wasn't like that, but you know how kids would be, right? Like, you're a hypocrite. Like, not really. Maybe she just don't want me to make the mistake she made. Duh.
Right. Why not correct a family curse versus allowing it to continue?
Exactly. And valid information is valid regardless of that person giving it to you, living by it or not. And that's one thing people don't get on YouTube. Like, if you don't live by what you say, then people get mad. I'm like, well, he told you to invest. That's still a good thing to do, but you ain't investing. I don't care about him. Is the information valid? And it is valid, so I could use it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, Gen Z, man. Hey, man, you could change it though. So you know what I'm saying? There's hope. Digital Nomad says, we have to acknowledge stagnation in wages, increasing inflation, and rising home prices. RT, get them. I be getting Digital Nomad all the time. So go ahead, man.
Hold on.
Let somebody else talk about it.
Put that back up. We have to acknowledge stagnation in wages, increasing inflation, and rising home prices. Stagnation in wages where? Why don't you change your career? Why don't you change your location to get a better job? Some people feel like they have to sit in one place and the job is supposed to come to them. They can't move across America and go where the actual jobs are. So if you're saying you got stagnation in wages, that means you need to move the state. Move somewhere where there are no stagnation in wages. Move somewhere where there are opportunities. You know, they had a great migration here in America, and people moved from one state over to another because of future jobs that were going in and production of cars and all these other things that were going on. Back in the day, families moved from the East Coast to the West Coast. Families moved from down south to up north. You know, they did that because that's where the jobs were. And then the families flourished again. For some reason, we want to stick our feet in cement and sit still. Y'all don't want to do shit. Y'all don't want to move. Y'all don't want to do shit. I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you this. My mom was like a gypsy. She was stolen as a child. She really had no family identity. She was a foster kid. Every 4 to 5 years until me and my brother got into high school, we moved. And I'm not just talking a little bit across the city. I'm talking about from one state to another. I lived in 15 states by the time I was in high school. And then I was rock solid in that high school until we graduated.
But what about home prices?
What about it? The first question answers the second and the third question. If you move to where the wages pay more, can you increase your wages, you increase your earning income potential, you get better education, you keep on turning up your certificates, things that you need in order to get better jobs, and then what? You can afford anything you want. But again, we plant ourselves in cement and we don't want to fucking move. We don't want to evolve. We don't want to fucking learn. We think everything should just come to us in a basket with a bow on it. This is the point of what I was trying to say, where kids feel like they're entitled to wealth. Not that they got to go out and fucking get it. You got to go out there and get it all the time. You think your great-grandparents had it easy to go out and get it? No, they have more obstacles than you do.
Mm-hmm.
Even with DEI going away, who gives a fuck? You can still be progressive in this country. You can still own your own business. DEI doesn't stop you from being a business owner. DEI doesn't stop your intelligence level. DEI doesn't stop proving that you can be somebody highly rated in a company, regardless of what your skin tone is. I had to be 10 times better. I worked in Fortune 100 companies. I had to be 10 times better than the next guy and always watch my back, because I always knew somebody else was fucking gunning for me. I had old Russian dudes, I had old fucking Italian dudes looking at me like, who's this young black kid coming in here doing this, that, and the other thing? Bruh, life ain't motherfucking easy.
Nope.
Wake the fuck up.
Exactly.
You get knocked down, you stand the fuck back up.
Exactly. Bert Ross says, good evening, everyone. Shout out to the big homie, Bert Ross.
Good song.
He said, what's going on, nephew?
Yeah, Bert Ross, man. That brother be moving in silence. He all over the place. He probably over there in Phuket. He comes over to that's his second home, man. He knows better than to be over in Pattaya. He goes to Phuket.
Listen, digital nomad, man, and other people of the same mindset. Look, guys, y'all don't look over the financials of any company that you're talking about. You're always just like, where's my wage increase? It's like, bro, you have to see if they actually have the capital available to pay more wages, right? So let's just, the hype is NVIDIA, right? And so NVIDIA, even in 2020, their revenue was 10 billion, but their net income was about around 3. And so net, they got a 30% margin that they just made. You get what I'm saying? So you're like, well, I want more money. It's like they already paid you guys. They got to have more money to be able to pay you after all their expenses, right? Revenue 16, they only walk away with 4. Revenue 26, they only walk away with 10. Now, these are some good numbers, right? But you got to say, look, I've created X amount of value. And because I created X amount of value, I want to get paid now X, right? But everybody in the company doesn't create the same values. And readjusting everybody's payment throughout the performance of each fiscal year is hard. Money needs to be allocated in things that are fixed prices, and then moving your income to a non-fixed price, but a fluctuating. Bro, if you want to get paid like that, go to a commission-based job. They will pay you based on your performance, right? So get out of the structure of a salary job, but now you're going to take on the risk of not being guaranteed pay, and etc. So there's pros and cons, and there's options available in the market that give different types of options for different type of folks. Like for me, I'm always outperforming my coworkers. Why would I stay in a W-2 job? I eventually got to a position where I was like, all right, now I'm getting paid on commission, right? So now when I outperform people, I'll be a part of the 20% of the realtors that save 80 or that transact 80% of all real estate, right? And now we're getting paid dumb money. There's no cap. They ain't like only up to 5 million. Whatever I do is what I do, and I get my portion.
You get it all. You know what I'm saying? They can't.
But if I'm a person who's not like that, if I'm the 80% of realtors who only do 20% of the transaction, I'm like, hey man, give me a salary, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Gen Z was out here saying, hey, I do the bare minimum at work. Hey, I barely show up. Hey, I'm laying flat. They're creating acronyms and all this other nonsense. So here you are making an argument saying acknowledge wage stagnation. Okay, but don't not also acknowledge that people are doing the bare minimum, not adding value, and again, bringing their own sorts of issues to the company at the end of the day, instead of actually dealing with it in a business contract. Go out and try to purchase a property and negotiate on the same basis, and you'll lose. You got to have a reason. It's got to make sense. The math is not mathing. And so again, your problem too is not your wage stagnation. What I always tell you, digital nomad, is asset stagnation. You're not acquiring assets. Assets build a wealth. So even it showed you in the Korean joints, this guy had to stretch because Koreans are outperforming you so much. He said, well, they have a stagnation of assets. And what it means is they don't have enough liquid funds to cover up 3 months of expenses. It's like, bro, that's way better for Gen Zers. They got assets to cover enough liquid in the assets to cover 2 months of expenses. That's way better than y'all. Y'all have zero assets and y'all can't even cover expenses now, only on a check-to-check income basis. So they're outperforming you by like, oh man, that's a lot. They're far ahead of you guys.
Leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds. And it's because, do they have a certain blood? No. Is it because they have a certain phenotype? No. It's just because the culture that they support. They can support a ratchet culture of spending and consuming only. They can change. Don't get it twisted. But they're currently running on this type of program. So get yourself on the same pyramid. Don't hate the player, learn their games. That's it. Shout out to Digital Nomad. He said, thanks for the stream, O2O, and shout outs to RT for joining and sharing his perspective. Shout outs to you, Digital Nomad, for actually, commenting. Yeah. It's always good when RT's up in the building, man.
Hey, iron sharpens iron, bro. You got to be able to argue your points to the nth degree so that people understand, civil discord is something that we should encourage. You know what I mean?
I agree. And so, and also about like,
let me share this with you real quick.
Go ahead.
Just so you know, I wasn't just messing around in the background. I'm actually doing something here. Hold on.
Yeah. Go ahead. And you giggling.
Your brother's multi-talented. Okay, that's all I can say. I'm sitting here talking to you guys about finances, but in the background, I'm sitting doing shit like this. Hit the share button.
Yeah, I got you.
Bam.
There we go. There we go.
So, I don't like stealing people's thumbnails when I'm on people's panels. So, I gotta.
Nah, that's good to go. Oh, okay, yeah, because you clicked it. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Calm. Now I like that one. That choice is nice.
Going, take your picture, take it off of something, put it on something else, make a whole thumbnail. And I'm sitting here having a proper conversation.
No, that's not right, Ronin.
Multitasking my ass off.
What about work-life balance? That's just too much mental pressure, man. You trying to do two things at once and multitask?
Hey.
That's not on the job description.
Hey, for
Come
all
on,
the
man.
women that says men can't multitask, that's a damn lie.
That's the biggest propaganda campaign in the
We
galaxy.
can do multiple things all at the same time. You have no idea. You have
Yeah, they be
no
tripping,
idea how
bro.
much shit we're doing way ahead of what you even thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
The next week already.
And we multitask in proper things, like, you know what I'm
And
saying?
plan
Like,
for the things that are coming up that we can foresee, because we're
talk
actually
about it.
foreseers. So we know based on this, and this, these other things are coming down the pipe. So you might as well go ahead and set this, and this up. So when those other things come at you, you already ready. You already knew
Art
they
of
were
war,
coming.
man.
You already knew they were coming.
Yeah,
They're
that's just
panicking,
funny.
and all of a sudden you said, "Relax. I already knew that was going to happen.
Yeah,
Here, let's
chill.
execute
Like,
this, and this. I already have it sitting there waiting for it to get done."
Mm-hmm. Facts.
This is how we think. We don't go into panic mode. We go into reassessment mode. And there should always be another avenue to get out. Should never put yourself in the corner. Never put baby in the corner. You should never put yourself in the goddamn corner.
And some of these Gen Zs, they do go in panic mode, but that's okay. Join the military. They might be able to help you with that.
Yeah, they'll teach you how to definitely assess your situations real quick.
Bro,
Definitely.
like, what? Man, those were the days.
So let's break down some of this stuff this guy was saying in this video, point by point. If you're up for it, I don't care.
Yeah, we could spend a little bit more time on it.
Yeah.
Well, he talked about wage stagnation. We had education. We had inflation. We had unemployment, and then we had home pricing.
Okay.
So you can start with whatever one you prefer.
Well, we already know about wage stagnation. Is just you need to grow.
So we addressed that.
Technology.
Home prices too.
Home prices.
So education. I think education would be good. A lot of people.
Yeah, education is like you. Okay. You can get educated for the fact of being educated, or you can be educated with the fact of ego. Obstacles already suggested. Why are you going to an Ivy League school when that's not going to give you any more prominence in the job function that you get? If anything, maybe a frat would give you more prominence, who you belong to as far as a group, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. So if you already have people in the industry, they're the ones that are going to give you a leg up. Doesn't matter about what's on your degree, because I'm sorry, at the end of the day, you're still walking through the door as a Black person with the Ivy League education. You think they're going to ignore that? No, that's going to be taken in consideration too. Now you're an uppity Black person with an Ivy League education. That makes you trouble. That doesn't make you like, oh, he's going to be easy to work with. See, the best way to go into a company is go in low key, unassuming, and then you blast through the upper echelons of executive management because they didn't think you knew everything you knew. Guess what? I dropped out of college, but you know what my major was? Architecture. That means I understand math, engineering, and a whole bunch of other things that have to go into when you're constructing a building from scratch. Your fucking imagination. Architects don't construct things just basic mechanical shit. They come up with brand new ideas. I've always been an out of the box thinker. You're not going to chop me in a box. I don't belong there. So at the end of the day, you going in low key, unassuming, because you don't have an Ivy League education could cause you to catapult quicker in an industry than the one that did go in there with their chest all out because they went into an Ivy League school and they maybe had the time and life didn't beat them down to where they had to go and take a step back and go to a community school or a local state school instead of that Ivy League school. Doesn't matter. What did I say the other day? Everybody puts their pants on one fucking leg at a time. And I've gone in and talked to CEOs of major corporations, international companies. What's up, HB Gone Global?
Well, yeah, what's going on, HB? Oh, he's a Marine. Shout out to him.
Now? Yes, sir.
Also, too.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No. So I was going to say, also with education, guys, look at it just like this, man. Look, I'm not against it or whatever. What I am saying is, what's the return on investment? So educate yourself about investments, because the only thing you're just trying to determine is, hey, X amount of debt, is it outweigh the entry level position of X amount of skill set that I picked up with this degree? Is it necessary, and etc. And so you got to look at it just like that. If you look at it like that, then maybe we could see, okay, it makes sense. But if you're not looking at it like that, then that's the problem. And again, like our teacher said, are you pursuing a degree for what? Just to have a degree, just to have hit the stunt button on people? Like often black women use that, like, oh, we're the most graduating, and we're the most whatever with degrees, but you're the most with debt and you're not making income. And so the end goal is to make income. The goal is to increase your net worth, increase your salary capability. And by doing that, you got to get a degree that will do that. And so it's not about just getting a bunch of degrees that just sitting on the wall because you hear the propaganda in movies. They could never take your education away from you.
Yeah.
But they can take your house away from you.
The degree that they got. This
They can take your house away from you, your car away from you. And they could take a lot. They could take your house that you paid for, but now you no longer can pay for it because you're not doing good economically. So yeah, they can't take away your degree. But again, you want one that's going to actually demand a lot of capital. And unfortunately, what a lot of people do is go get money and come back and tell you, chase your passions and your dreams. I'll tell you, chase what actually gets you money. Because I never seen why money and what it could provide for me, that's my passion and dream. Not to be broke, not to be homeless, not to struggle and live check to check. That's my ultimate happiness. That's my ultimate goal. So whoever pays me, I'm completely fine. I was happy scrubbing floors with a toothbrush because I knew I was moving from Baltimore, Maryland into a brighter world.
Bro,
and if
don't
I have
you
to
say
scrub
Baltimore,
toilets,
Maryland.
don't
Don't you even say you from Baltimore,
yeah,
Maryland,
I said
bro.
Baltimore. No. My family originally was. We moved out to the county.
I'm from Baltimore. That's where I was born, but I didn't stay there. Remember, I moved state to state all around.
Exactly.
I was born in Baltimore,
Exactly.
Too. All right.
So that's the goal. But Digital Nomad says, well, move to another area isn't a good solution because cost of living and home prices increase with it. New York, for an example.
Why would you take the most extreme case and go to New York when that's not where all the jobs are?
That's a big extreme.
That's an extreme location. Like I wouldn't tell you to move to California. You know how many clients I had in California? Almost 3,500 clients in California alone. You know how many of those clients I advised them once their kids all moved out of the house and they had that $1.5 to $2 million home? I told them to sell that bitch, move down south somewhere, buy a $250,000 home somewhere down south that's probably as big as the one they were in for $2 million. And take those assets and invest them in something else so that they can live a lot quieter lifestyle, because gone are the days that all your kids come back to the house. So why are you keeping this house in the first place? It's an asset.
I would also add just to that, and Digital Nomad's up on the stage, so he's going to add his part. But I would also add, too, that, hey, look, when it comes down to, and this is funny because I'm from the DMV, but I'll give the example. I'll take your extreme example. Most people who work in New York and still want to have the economic room, they live where? New Jersey. And then they migrate into actual New York. Same thing for DC. DC is extremely expensive. So people live in Maryland. They live in Virginia. And then they commute into DC. But here we go. We got Digital Nomad here, the man of the hour, the representative of the normies. To speak the truth, because elitists like me and RT don't know what we're talking about, and we don't know the real struggle of the people. An elitist. You're an elitist. You're a classist. You're a goddamn talent 10th. You W.E. Du Bois individual. Like, you don't know the struggles of us out here in the hood.
I refuse to take that title.
And we're going to have Digital Nomad represent the folks, the hard working class, blue collar individuals. Digital Nomad is in the building representing. The champ is here. What's good, Digital Nomad?
Hey, what's up, O2O? What's up, RT? How y'all doing?
What's going on, Nomad? What's up, Digital Nomad, bro? How was your holiday? How's your holiday going, bro?
It was great. How about yourself?
Did you do anything on Black Friday? Did you go spend up some of that money?
Nah, I ain't about to get ran over by them crazy people at the store.
Did you shop online at least? Did you do anything are you doing anything tomorrow for Cyber Sunday? Cyber Monday.
I probably should go ahead and get some holiday gifts and everything right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But no, I ain't going to the store. I did that before. I know what that's about.
Oh, I've been in those.
I don't know if
they really be tripping.
Yeah,
they really be tripping.
No, they be tripping. I was sitting in front of a Best Buy with my my stepson, and my nephew. And we sat out all night because they had TVs that were on special, obviously Best Buy and all electronics. So we sat out front. We were probably 20th in line. Lo and behold, 10 or 15 of people ahead of us had 3 to 5 people they were stacking for their place in line. So our 20th wound up being like 200th.
People be
by the
fighting.
time they got done. It's crazy.
They'll run you over.
Yeah.
Because they looking at, you got to think it's a lot of parents
Fatality.
looking at it like, this stuff is cheap.
Facts.
I should go Christmas shopping right now. I'm not going to let you take the gift that's on sale because it's for my kid. You know, everybody fighting each other over stuff like that with that mentality.
Oh,
So
they literally had a Cabbage Patch Kid back in the day yanked out of my hand, bro, by a lady.
Somebody
I'm 6'2",
died.
by the way. Well, hold up. I'm 6'2", and the Toys R Us, and it was Cabbage Patch. It was popular that year. So I go to grab one for my niece, and lo and behold, this lady comes running up and snatches the very Cabbage Patch out my hand. So I need that. I was like,
oh my God.
You go to the store right now.
Everybody
I let her have it, and I walked out the store and said, "Yeah, nah, I can't be in no place like this ever in my life. I can't."
Hey, she laid the smack down on you.
She didn't lay the smack down on me. Why you gotta do me like that, bro? She did the old damn the Undertaker on me.
And don't go to a mall or something with a bunch of black people.
That joint's getting crazy. WWE the bad boy. Did you? What you got, man, on the topic, man? Coming in here and blessing the stream.
So I had made a comment earlier. I said we have to acknowledge stagnation in wages, increasing inflation, and rising home prices. I believe RT had commented on it. He said that, you could correct me if I'm wrong, for the stagnation in wages, the solution is to move to another area that has an will pay you more. Basically, that's the solution. Get out of your area. That's why there's a stagnation in wages, and that solution will solve the other two issues. Correct. I think I heard you say something along those lines.
Similar, yes. Exactly.
Okay, so
that solution of getting more money should open up the other two issues as far as affordability and housing or whatever, because you are now earning more money.
That makes sense. You make more money, therefore you're able to afford more house. I understand that concept. Right. I disagree with that though, because I think
I knew you would.
Right. If you move to another area,
right,
that will increase in wages, typically the cost of living.
God damn it. Right when it was getting good, you just blinked out. You said cost of living, and then you went dead for a second. We can hear you. We can hear you now.
Okay. The cost of living in that area, as well as the home prices in the area, will increase with it. So you're really defeating the purpose of getting a higher wage. For example, moving to New York, California. Yeah, I might make more money out there, but the cost of living is higher. Therefore, I'm working backwards. You understand? That's my perspective anyway.
Right. And so in that case, would it be more of moving to a place where you're going to get paid more, or maybe recertifying yourself to where you get a higher paying job so that you can outpace the cost of living and the cost of housing based on being more educated or having a couple more certs in a certain arena to where you can rate that maybe $20,000 or $30,000 increase in annual income? There's a lot of people getting recertified, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of different things instead of staying in that job.
You asking if I'm moving there or if I'm just going there to get educated to make for the.
Well, no, the first solution I gave was just to move out of that location if you're having a problem with wage increase,
right?
Because it's overpopulated and it's highly competitive. Move somewhere where you might be able to get a job that maybe pays the same, but it continues to allow you to make more money because there's less people there. Some people just don't want to live certain places, but the job still needs to be done, is basically what I was kind of referencing.
Oh, okay. I didn't consider that.
Right. So when you move to those locations and you're making that income, so then you're right. In those areas, in some areas, maybe they start to realize, hey, there's a hiring boom down where you're at now. So now cost of living goes up because now people in real estate understand, hey, the houses are going a lot quicker. So now the house is going to cost more, cost of living as far as goods and services go up. because they're running out and they're not having to keep up with the supply and demand, whatever it is, then yeah, at that point, as a man, you should be able to forecast there's certain things that are happening within your organization, your business, and your surroundings, and say, hey, I need to either retrain myself in something else in a higher paying career on base level than where I'm at right now. We should always be looking for the next change in evolution in business. Unless you already at executive levels and you're running your own organization, which is what I wound up doing, is working for a lot of Fortune 100 companies, taking best practices and starting my own business and working for myself. We should always be evolving to where you stay for a job for, and the reason I say this is, gone are the days where you have employee number 5 that is retiring from a company. They're not going to keep you that long. You'll be lucky if you make 20 years. Gone are all the pensions in major corporations. They put you on 401ks because they didn't want to assume all the risk with a pension and you live into 100 years old. People are living a lot longer now. That's why they put you on a 401k now, because that's just based on the market and they're not responsible if you lose money. The pension, they were. Okay. So they keep moving the goalpost. So the company is moving the goalpost. We as individuals, as men, should be moving our own goalposts, not to stay stagnant in any arena for anywhere from 3 to 5 years. If you don't see a forecasted major growth in your income, your ability to be promoted in management or something like that, you need to go. Don't hold on to that job with an iron fist because it's a job. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. Thank you for sharing. But that's all I had to add. I've just listened to y'all from the box now. Appreciate it. Shout out to you.
No,
shout out to you.
We need input like
shout
this,
out to you,
because other
Digital
people
Nomad.
have those same questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like to
just
offer
go
a
over
perspective.
Yeah, true that. So shout out to you. Greatly appreciated, Digital Nomad. And then shout out to Coach. Coach Ferg said, true. However, most don't focus on financial prosperity until after age 40. We waste over 20 years spending and partying.
Exactly.
And that's the facts of life. And one of the things I want to contribute is, up here, ChatGPT, guys, will save you a lot. And you just do what it says. But at the end of the day, budget management, income strategies, investment adjustments, debt management, saving strategies, consumer choices, energy efficiency, insurance and subscriptions, and staying educated. These are just basic steps. And then y'all were breaking down the details of not just, one of these categories, which was income strategies. And so you always have to adjust. Life is like this, man. It's like you could complain about a winter, which it will come, or you could just become a better farmer. And the best techniques and the best approach, in my opinion, is to become a better farmer. While other farmers are being like, dang, man, if this winter was just easier, I would be able to get by. For me, I've developed new techniques on farming to make it almost, I could still farm and harvest during the winter. But the next guy wasn't worried about that. He wasn't trying to develop his strategy as far as generating crops. He was just hoping and praying and maybe even doing the Indian dance, hoping that it would just not turn out to be one of the coldest winters. And so
Indian dance.
Yeah, right? So that's what you have to do. If you focus on that versus what the federal government is doing or the Federal Reserve is doing, that would last you longer. And then again, most of your ways to combat it is investing. You had to be saving and investing earlier to outpace inflation. So when inflation takes an increase or a dip, or rise or a dip, you're already prepared with your strategies on income, your strategies with investments, your strategy with budget management, your debt management. And this is all, that's why I said you don't have time to go out and wag your finger at people and give preaches and sermons on the hill. You got enough to fix in your own estate, in your own financial planning and portfolio. Put all your energy there, because once you do, you can lead by direction. Some people might see and be like, dang, Digital Nomad, it seems like you got the answers. You're like, nah, really, I just chat GPT'd a couple of strategies and followed through. And if you do that, that would save you more than saying, I'm going to press this button on November and I'm going to put somebody in office that's going to change this for me.
Control my destiny. It's going to
control my destiny. Coach said, please email that information to every high schooler in the
Unfortunately, it's
country,
not
right?
authorized education to teach that's what we're talking about. That's why we have these meetings. That's why we have these lives.
Exactly.
Obstacle puts together, myself and others. We have these discussions offline because they're not going to teach our people specifically. I don't know if you were here earlier, Coach. We were talking about how wealthy families, for some reason, they have west wings, east wings in their houses, and all the family stays together, but all the family prospers and works in what? Their own company. We don't do that.
But I also I want to take a position that's kind of just different. Like me, I don't see the world like that. I don't think they not gonna teach me. They taught me. Like it was Jewish partners, it was white guys, it was other, nations and nationalities. Like we always have this, like, look, it's not that deep. Some people are gonna teach you in your own community, they're not gonna teach you.
Right.
Just people are people. So it just has to depend on the character of each person. But what I would say, it's nobody's goddamn job to teach you in the first place.
Exactly.
You're a grown-ass functional human being who got to go out here and do what you say you want to do for yourself. And again, shout outs to the school. The school's not going to teach you, but I always tell you guys on this channel, the school is there to babysit your parents because they had unprotected sex and they weren't prepared for you. They didn't build out a legacy or family estate where the mom could stay or the dad could stay at home and take care of you. So they just drop you off at school and they watch your big-headed kids for you for 8 hours so you can still go out and earn money and support your life. So the school is doing you a favor of babysitting your kids. Be gracious that they know how to read and they know how to write and they know how to count. After that, well, they didn't teach my kid to be Elon Musk or Warren Buffett. Listen,
No, that's up
that's
to you.
your job, but even more so than it's the parent's job, it's not even their job. It's your job as a child. It's your life. It's not your parents' job. I never blamed my mom for a goddamn thing. If she was broke, she gave me a firsthand one-on-one lesson on what it looks like to be broke. And I just took that and said, don't want to do that. I'm not going to follow her. And then I'm going to do something different. That's the lesson she taught me. Through her obstacles, I learned the opportunities. So again, I'm tired of hearing about, man, my parents, they didn't have generational wealth and financially educated. Who goddamn kids? You had a smartphone. Your parents didn't teach you how to twerk, but you went to go figure that out. Your parents didn't teach you how to do that nasty thing you've been doing when you was in high school, but you still figured out the way. So you can figure out whatever you want to figure out. The problem is you.
Right. You got to have the desire. Shit. My entrepreneur spirit, if y'all don't know, was the first time my mom cut my hair and fucked it up. And I had to go to school looking like that. She goes, boy, when you got your own job and you can pay for your own haircut, you don't have to worry about me cutting your hair. Boing! I was 8 years old, bruh. Raking grass, leaves, cutting grass.
With the freshest cuts, though.
Hey, I had my own haircuts, getting my own hairstyles, whatever the hell it was. Brought my own clothes. You don't have to tell me once.
Yep, because if your parents do, you got to get their hairstyle. Like, dang.
Right.
Boy, you ain't getting that. You going to get this fade. You gonna get this Marine Corps fade.
No, it was fucked up fade. They weren't gonna be nice and get it done right, bro. Come on. Not back in my day. Maybe these days they
put that bowl on your head and let's get the cutting.
On your head, right.
Shout out to Coach Sets 020. Great information for disadvantage. Yo, shout outs. I'm trying to give y'all different perspective because people are gonna sell you some goddamn, oh, I'm in doom and gloom. Coach said, I spoke on it last night, and who's putting their children to work in their own business? We supposedly making $100K. Yeah, y'all both light-skinned. So I damn near thought it was you who said the same thing. I was like, dang, I heard that before. And Coach did say that last night on a different channel that we were both on. Shout outs to that channel, putting the horse before the cart. And then Coach also says parents back then understood that the child comes first. Today, it's me and mine and F them kids. Exactly. But isn't that right? It's about my happiness. Ain't about them dang kids' happiness, boy.
Yeah, if them kids don't make me happy, they out here at 18, they got to go.
Yeah, right.
Stop caring and giving
no disrespect
and all that.
The moms definitely do that. I don't know so much about the dads. Dads be taking L's in the basement for their kids. But I know moms definitely what kids even say it to their mom. Whatever make you happy, mom. So that get divorced to dad if you want to. So
I talk to guys and young kids, mentor. I talk about this all the time: is breaking your son-husband relationship with your mother.
Oh no! Oh, hold on now. Hold on. Hey, yo, you better watch. Hey, you better not talk about my mama. Yo, breaking the what? The son husband. Yo, tell them about that. You got your own show now.
No, I'm just saying this is the deal. Okay, I don't know where you guys grew up at. I don't know how many times you got thumped up ahead with the Bible, and the Bible says this and that and the other thing. You should leave your husband or your family and cling to your wife, and your wife should leave their family and cling to their husband. Blah 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 blah. Did y'all forget that the man was the ruler of the house? Did y'all forget that the man is the head of the family? But all of a sudden, when all these single mamas started running the house, all of a sudden they were like, you need to bow down to what I say. I'm your mother. I gave birth to you. No, you carry the seed my father put in you. You are the host. You are not the proxnox. Your egg is dead until what? A sperm is introduced into it. You are not the ruler and the end all to be all when it comes to our family. It's the man's analytical mind that makes the decisions in the family that guides and forecasts what's going to happen overall in a family. You have a woman that makes emotional decisions on feelings, which we talked about earlier in Obstacles podcast when he was talking about they feel this way versus facts, or based off of statistics and analytics and historical data. You get what I'm saying? This is what we talk about with forecasting income, forecasting changes in your businesses and the things that you guys are doing. You should be able to look and foresee things that are changing within your industry and say whether you're going to survive that in the current company you're in or whether you already need to start retraining. You know, I know brothers knew they were going to get cut a long time ago and they were desperately holding on to that company instead of saying, hey, I need to go ahead and get off my ass, get a couple of these certs, start looking for another job so that I can soften the blow if I had to walk away.
Mama knows best, though.
Bruh, my mama tell you on a heartbeat, I don't subscribe to those ideas.
020 Obstacles to Opportunity says, Mama knows best.
I know. I run my house. My mom's 80 years old, and she will never say, I'm your mama. And I love you.
Yeah, right.
And
yeah. Still love. Yeah.
Does that mean you have control over my life? Hell no. Never had, never will.
Okay, wait, hold on. We got another one that says 020 says your mama's black. What about that?
Hey, race has nothing to do with whether they control it. You got white women that do the same thing. I raised you. Okay.
Yeah,
that's what your job function was.
Facts.
That's what you were put on this earth to do. Bore children. So you're supposed to get a fucking cookie or a push out present because you gave birth to a child?
Okay, wait, hold on. 020 says, who hurt you? The usual talking point, right?
Yeah. You know, a lot of people say, yo, who hurt you? No, I'm just straight up like honest and blunt.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about that shit. The informal days of us respecting them and them getting to disrespect you is over. Put your fucking capes up, fellas. Tell truth for truth.
Yeah, no diggity,
they want to talk about
doubt.
Their hairline and shit. Tell them to take that motherfucking wig off and see what that hairline and that glue ripped off their fucking baby hairs.
Hold on now. Watch out, misogynist. Watch out, misogynist. Misogynist.
Let's get real with it. You know, they want to talk about things about you. Hey, tell them the truth about themselves.
You know, the son husband thing is, guys, you really gotta like. That'd be sometimes I'll be like, dang, man, having a son could be risky just because of the son husband thing. But again, definitely depends on the mother. But yeah, you guys got to be frosty about that. I remember, I think I was on the channel with Ferg or something.
What was my nickname given to me in the military? What was that name? You just said it?
Oh, shoot. Frosty, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you got to stay frosty with it. I said, damn, I wonder where that name came from.
Yeah. You got to stay frosty. Yeah, so we were just saying that the other day, and I think some guy came on and he was talking about, like, you know, maybe from just a power position as a man. But then he said something to the nature where he was just like, hey, man, you know, I guess, you know, your woman, she gave you a child. And I'm like, hold on, stop, dude. You know, it's a two-way street up in this bad boy. Like, he was just saying it, though, like, as in that's what the woman brought to the table that nobody else, like, wait, hold on. I gave her a son. Like, bro, it's a two-way street. It like, on science alone, it's a two-way street, right? Until there's some new inventions. So as of now, it's like, but the guy was propagandized so much that he didn't even see he brought that to the table in the negotiations of his relation with this individual. And so, guys, I'm telling you, you have to break this down. Like, you know all the mathematics, but I'll give women this. They are very clever with social dynamics. And it's only because the actual landscape has already been laid. It's not even there creating much of the stuff now. And so, therefore, you're entering into this negotiation. That's why you usually needed your parents with you. And families negotiated because they're like, let us help you out, little boy, because you're getting slaughtered. Because think about it. If two families sit together, one mom and the other mom, and somebody's like, well, our daughter's going to give your son a child. They'll be like, wait, hold on. He has the seed. That's a two-way thing. Next point, let's talk about how much cows y'all got. Let's talk about how much land you got. Let's talk about this gold and measure up. And so this is the difference that you guys are not acknowledging. How does your daughter contribute to what we have going on since our business is more economically strong than your family's? And they'll be like, well, we have these connections with these ship grain suppliers out of Egypt, and we could help with your import and export and your grain supply and the bakeries that you own inside the empire. Like, that's how that goes.
Now we're talking. Right. Now we're talking. Now
she gives you a baby.
Right.
Like, what? And then it was so serious. Even that, they're like, well, hold on. Has she been tested? Is it proven that she can actually give children? And if she couldn't, then I could divorce you based off of that and go get a new wife. And I wouldn't have to give back any type of dowry that your father paid me for accepting you as a woman. So again, it's very complex, and it goes down into details and the minutia. Versus what y'all got today, which y'all just getting landslided because a woman and got you propagandized to believe, well, I gave you a child.
I am
that's
the table.
all I have to do. Exactly.
I
got the womb.
Put anything on the table.
And you were like, true, let me bow down to the womb. And your mama's out there sitting up there talking about to their own sons, you better treat this girl right. Like, hold on, mama. You my mama. You ain't her mama. Like,
hello.
You sound...
They true to the game. Let me put it that way. My mom even said that. I taught you everything but that. Why? I wanted you to figure that out for yourself. Why would you set me up to lose? Come on now.
They be sitting with the ops. You be like, damn, mama, you sitting with the ops on me.
Right.
You know? But it's like that. The sisterhood is serious. You get, so don't get mad about it. Don't crash out, blue pill crash out on the internet. Just understand and move smartly. Because as the RT even know, there's marketplaces with different type of conditions, different type of constructs. You get me? So you got to learn how to move that way. Because I think the guy was on the other stream. He was like, man, I can't just get a girl outside and she should be in my neighborhood. It's like, bro, look, first of all, you got to conquer that one woman, which is the mama. That's why tribes would take you away from your mama on some Sparta stuff, because they're like, yo, you can't become a warrior still fighting for your mama. This cause is bigger than that, okay? There's things bigger than that,
on
guys.
your mama's titty, because you should have been weaned off of that shit
and go out here and kill this wolf.
Kill you a couple wolves and some tigers.
That's why I say a lot of times guys come on the space and they be like, well, I have my father and I had this. And I'm like, well, having a father is not it. Because if your father is a conquered father, then he's actually going to set you up to take an L in the future. So you got to have a father that was X, Y, and Z.
Listen to your mama. She going to tell you right.
Because you find it funny. I see these videos where they're like, a dad, if he's physically aggressive to his children, they're like, yo, that's not good. You get me? But the only when he's allowed to be physically aggressive when his kid, when he does it on behalf of you disrespecting your mama. So if your dad pop you in your mouth because you need to learn a lesson about becoming a man, they'll be like, oh, that was unnecessary. But if the woman find out, oh, he popped him in his mouth because he was disrespecting and called his mama out his name, they'd be like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. So by proxy, women are controlling how you father. So again, you're not even fathering. You're out here mothering. And a lot of guys have stopped fathering to mother. They're like, They'll acquiesce to the woman's idea of how children should be raised.
Coach hit that one on the nub. You got to hit that bottom comment with Coach.
Wait,
Coach
let me get what Coach said. Coach says salute. And to the crack era adults, they fight everybody, including mamas, grandmothers, granddaddies, and definitely dads. Shout outs to the crack era, That's a different time, man.
Yeah.
People don't know nothing about that crack era, man.
Shit.
That was a whole different type of beast. So, man, I enjoyed talking about that on the back end, man. And hopefully you young gentlemen can get that by understanding that, hey, look, you could love your mama, but now you in charge. You ain't no boy no more. Stop looking to your mama. And then, unfortunately, I'll say this too. Let me know if this is right, RT. A lot of you guys had so much nourishing and love from your mama and never cut yourself off, still a son husband. Y'all go into a romantic relationship looking for your mamas and your girls.
Shit. Don't do that. Don't tell them that.
Don't tell them that,
Don't tell them that.
They can thinking that your girl is your mama. Like, bro, you came out of your mama. She loved you for different reasons.
Oedipus complex.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, baby boy, you got a whole Oedipus complex. See, you want your mama to be your girl, but it's my girl. This is my house. Okay, Melvin. And then y'all get mad.
One of these lines,
I got
man, if y'all ain't like you, they were trying to tell y'all, even in the movies, they were trying to tell y'all need to break that shit up. Break that shit up.
Trying to game them. Break it up. Yeah, break it up.
Break that shit
Coach
up.
says, our seed is the golden goose. Protect it or lose wealth. Shout outs to you. That's a fact on City.
Absolutely.
That's
the way you should be training them up. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, bro, girls be like, especially they got to get a whole new dynamic when they relate to me. I'm like, hold on, you coming to me, bro. I'm qualifying you to kick the seed. Like, I don't know what you talking about. I don't qualify myself to you. You qualify yourself to me.
You know what kind of information
we running around here with no makeup on. I got no mascara, bro. We out here. I am who I am.
A damn scar or nothing.
Exactly. Like, bro, you got to get right, man. Talking about I'm the table, but that's cool. I like when they say that because straight out, I don't negotiate after that. I'm like, have a great day. Hope you find what you're looking for in the market. Boom, that's it. And no lie, there is a guy for her. Some guys want that type of woman. I'm not knocking them. I'm not here to make fun of them.
By the way, you know that.
There's someone for everybody.
It's no longer, you know how they used to say it's, what is the season this something? Not coupling season, but
cuffing season?
Cuffing. It's cuffing season. But now it's simping season. They don't cuff anymore.
Oh man.
Simp.
Yeah, that's simp season.
Calling you big head. Right around Halloween, they start calling you big head because the gift giving is starting. They'll call you big head all the way up until around January 15th. Then all that is off, and it's bad girl summertime coming up.
And you know what's funny? I was just talking to Digital Nomad about this. Like, I sent him a link, and he was like, "Man, it's hard." I was like, "Bro, look, in China, the women are 10 times worse." I'm like, these girls know what a house look like without a mortgage on it. They didn't got the percentage of how much income you need to make, how much allowance they need to be allocated. Like, bro, a wedding has like 20 goddamn itemized points where you need to pay for the girl to get out the car, the girl to get in the car, the name change. Like, not only just pay for the wedding, you have to pay for her just to do particular things in the wedding. And then family be coming in, and then they'll be like, yo, we want more money at the wedding day. They're like, she ain't getting out the car unless you give us an extra $5,000.
Right there on wedding day. Where's this?
Yeah, man, it's bad. No, this is in China, man. It's super bad, bro.
Well, I heard Chinese women are ruthless because they're like, they're ruthless. They want to see what your bank account looks like. They want to see how many houses and resources you have. I think
Western girls just be like 6 figures. Like, what that mean? I could have a house that got 100% financing, but the Chinese girls are like, oh, it has financing in the loan. I don't, because
they know they're the high commodity with all those one baby rule laws that they had for almost 20 plus years. The females that are there know their worth, and you better come with a lot, or you just done.
They hurting, bro. So I'm like, bro, y'all got it easy over there in the West. Like, the Chinese girls, they don't play, man. They drive a hard bargain and they come in with numbers, spreadsheets, formulas. Like you
Now,
be
once
sitting
they
there
hit a
like,
certain
man.
age, if they don't get married by 25, 26,
Oh
all
yeah, they're
bets are
done,
off.
sir, done.
Now they
They're done,
old
sir,
maids,
done.
and now it's the other way around. Now you negotiating with her, like, what the fuck you coming with, bitch?
Yeah. Hey, but you know, like them, they have this whole sisterhood thing that's taken them to this thing where they're negotiating poorly too. They'll be 30 still wanting all that crazy nonsense. But people
Right.
always been crazy. Ain't nothing new there. I've been in real estate. Individual sellers are crazy. They be wanting
They
the
want
world and the moon for
Right.
property.
I done put all
They
this
like,
work into you brought it up to code. You brought it up to where you can sell it at a reasonable rate per square foot. That doesn't mean just because you put all that money in, you just
that you're supposed to
triple the
get it
value
all
of the
back.
house. Right.
And I want an extra for my retirement. Hold on, bro. This ain't your retirement ain't none of my business. But they be like, yeah, I think about 2 million would do. I'm like, bro, the property is literally only worth 1 million. Yeah, but no, I want 2 million. I want to retire. Like, wait, what? Like that ain't the same thing. So people, you know, they always have issues with negotiations a lot of times. So no wonder why they're having problems like that in romantic relationships also. They drive a terrible bargain, period, in life.
All I can tell you guys, the quicker you can get out of Disneyland mode when it comes to relationships, the better off you're going to be in life.
And the better off I think relationships are. Once I got out of Disneyland, they weren't that bad. Coach Ferg says, my dad didn't get what my mom said regarded me. He was on my ass and saved me. Facts on the city. But nowadays, you know, your mom make that one call.
Well, there's only one parent in the house now. You don't even have to worry about, you can't even get a dad.
But not even on that. They just make the call, whether y'all co-parenting or something. Then the cops come in and they start capping for the females. Cops in the previous time.
Police department to keep you off of your
and remember, those people are men though. Men before who were cops would come and be like, oh, this is a family affair. Even Vietnam women were complaining about it because they would have problems and the cops show up in their culture and they'd be like, what's happening? Oh, blah, blah, blah. They'd be like,
that's what he's supposed to do. Right. Goodbye. We're out. Yeah. He's supposed to do that. What the hell? I don't want you
they wouldn't come in and be like, hey, Vietnamese man, get out the house right now. Leave or we're going to take you to jail. They don't step. They're just like, civil dispute, take it to court. Or other than that, we have no... It's not our business.
There to protect the peace and make sure nobody gets shot and killed. That's all.
Exactly.
Other than that, you can argue till you're blue in the face. They can't tell you got to leave.
But
she's got to lie and say you put your hands on her or you threatened her. And that's
even that they'll be like, okay, but until it go to court and it's proven, we ain't got nothing to innocent until proven guilty. So it's just like, man. But here we go. Hey, I represent justice, innocent until proven guilty. Hey, shout outs to that, man. Shout outs to your dad, too, for standing up, man. Standing up, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Standing up to Big Mama. So, so you got anything for closing RT, man? Share with the people why Gen Z is so poor. Anything for them, period.
The biggest thing I can say to Gen Zers, and I have some in my own home, my grandchildren, and so on.
True that.
Life is not easy. Don't expect a handout or a hand up. Expect an education or being taught something. Go out and learn it for yourself if you feel like you're not being taught it by one of us in our families. Go out and seek the knowledge you need. Be aggressive in life. Nothing in this life is free. And if you think you're getting it for free, you're going to pay a cost for it. That's all I can say. Stop expecting things that you should not be getting. That's it.
I agree 100%, man. RT always with the gems, man. Shout out to him for coming and putting some respect in the game.
Appreciate it, brother.
Now, I appreciate you for coming.
Great topic.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to hit him.
Yeah, you hit them.
Oh, man.
But the only thing is, like I said, it's exposure.
So I definitely got to be out, man. This is one of my homies.
So play your grunt one on the way out.
I got you, yo. Y'all got to get in this field like RT been. Stay frosty, RT style. Oh, dang. I done messed that up.
It's all good.
Been in the field.